Hey and welcome to today's video, and as you saw in the clickbait, we are gonna start the transformation of the blue MK3 Cabriolet, and it's gonna be a heck of a rebuild we're gonna do on this one. I promise you, you're gonna get the whole package. This car is gonna fulfill a lot of my needs. One of them is actually to drift. Another one is red light racing, I would say, just a straight line. We're gonna build this for the looks, but most for the performance. We're gonna have a lot of performance parts, a lot of customization on this car. And don't forget, we need to have a good sound system in it. So we're gonna do wide body, we're gonna do engine, we're gonna do chassis, we're gonna do sound system, we're gonna do paint. So if you stick around on this build, you're gonna learn a lot or get a lot of inspiration. So if you haven't, just subscribe to this channel. You don't wanna miss this build series. We're gonna go through the puppy, how she looks now. She was done. I've been driving her as a daily to work and to different shows. It's been a blast to drive her, but horsepower wise, this lacks a lot in the car. So we're gonna do a lot. So this is the last time you're gonna see the Golf MK3 in this shape and form, because now the transformation begins. I'm gonna start off putting her on blocks and see what we're gonna do next. But first, put the car on blocks, take off the wheels, and start some body modification and chassis modification. So welcome to today's video. Puppy is up in the air, and I'm gonna start off with taking off the wheels, and then the process of, I guess, taking the whole car apart is number one. I think I'm gonna take out the pristine interior first. I'm gonna empty out the tank. I think the back interior first, or the chairs and the back interior, and then I'm gonna see if we're gonna take off the back bumper and the front bumper. I don't really know yet. So, next step, you saw me taking out the air filter, but now I want to empty out the tank in the car. So what I did is actually taking the inlet or the pressure side, just the gasoline in the can, and then I thought, should I go back to the tank where the pump is? No, you could actually do it by quick connecting yourself, bridging the relay. And what I did is actually just starting the ignition and feeling on the relays that are underneath here, and I actually found out that the 167 relay is the one that's powering up the pump, the gas pump. So I figured that the big ones are the power, so the 30 and the 87. Made a little bit of a cable and just gonna stick them or bridge them in between the 87 and 30, turn over the ignition, and then the pump should pump the whole time. Let's see if I'm correct or not. Here it says number 4 and number 6 So when I'm bridging the cables, the pump should actually go on directly and not having to turn the ignition. And Matthias, could you please film if it's working or not?
It's working. It's pumping.
It's pumping. So what I want Matthias to look for is, so I'm not gonna let the pump go too dry. If you let the pump go dry too long, it's actually gonna destroy your pump. So be aware of that, but that's just a quick tip how to empty out the tank, because the tank is gonna go off the car. So to even make this MK3 drift, we need a good rear end. So Matthias hooked me up with this Dodge SR8 rear end. It's capable of over 1,000 horsepower. So, but first we need to wash it off and then we can start the transformation. So as you can see, I'm trying to get off the back axle of the MK3. I'm just letting the brake fluid drain out, and then I'm actually gonna try to get the whole thing. It's a stiff back axle, and whilst waiting on the fluid from the brake lines to actually drain. So what I'm looking at now is I want to take off the steel shell from the rear axle or rear subframe, so we can roll in the subframe underneath the Golf 3 just to see where the mounting or the mating points are on this one, and see how much modifications maybe we're going to need on the MK3. So I think we can use the coilover slash struts and just ditch the springs. So we're going to use this type of mounting point as a coilover, and I have HR coilovers on the Golf MK3 today, and they are in the same fitting that we have on the Dodge Charger rear axle. So I'm just gonna unbolt these big bolts and see if I can get off the shell. Maybe I have to ask Matthias for some help. And yes, don't mind my hair, I'm gonna take a haircut soon. But let's unbolt these big ass bolts. I don't know if you can see them, but they are humongous and they run through the whole H-pillar here. So that went pretty easy. So the shell, we're gonna save that if we need the back rails or anything from that one. And here you actually have the rear cradle. Damn, that's a beauty of a diff, Matthias.
Yep.
Dodge Challenger. Charger, sorry. And I think, I don't know, but I guess they are good for 600 to 800 horsepower, easily.
This is from an SRT8, so...
Okay, then I think it's up to 1,000 horsepower actually. But comment in the comment section below if you guys actually know how many horsepower this diff from an SR8 is capable of. I'm not gonna go for the 800, but we're gonna go for the 600. So yeah, take the dampeners off the struts, and then actually take the rear axle of my car and roll it in and see how much problem we're gonna have. That's gonna be fun. Yay. I am amped to actually be able to work on my car, but the clock is already ticking and it's almost midnight, starting to get a little bit tired. My dear princess at home kept me up the whole night, so I slept 2 hours, but the energy in the workshop is still going strong. So let's rip off the back axle on the Golf to get this beautiful beast underneath there. Jesus, I'm getting tired. We're doing everything at the same time, working at the Sirocco, working at the Golf 3, but as you can see, exhaust system, back brakes, and another shitty exhaust system, and now finally we can take out the rear axle of the MK3, and when we're done with that, we can actually run in the Dodge. What the heck? Oh, you did forget the brake line.
Shit happens.
A brake line, but that's the rear axle of the MK3. Nothing special, not the beauty. And yeah, now the fun part begins. We're gonna roll in the new one and actually see how much work we have to do to modify it onto an MK3 from a Dodge. Oh Jesus! Why are we doing this, Matthias?
I don't know.
They say that it's fun to build cars. Yeah, it is. But I think it's just fun when you can drive them in the end. But yeah, okay, we're gonna keep on moving a couple of hours more, and then we'll go to home to our families and sleep a little bit. But I'm really excited of rolling in the Dodge rear end. Okay, Matthias says it's done. There we go. Directly into the scrapyard. Just throw it in a bin. Yeah, I think so. That's gonna be the destination for this shit. Let's do it.
I'm telling you guys, this was not an easy task. It was up and down, up and down, up and down. But we realized quite quickly we had to cut out a bunch of metal just to get it in the right position that we want to.
Ooh, it's smoking hot in here. And whilst I'm cutting out in the back just to make some space here. Yeah, a little treat for the car. There we go. Oh Jesus, it's smoking in here. Good that I have good ventilation, and Matthias is cutting away on the back frame, because what we think is, if we're gonna cut out on the MK3 the whole, like begin with the base, move up the rear axle and see how much we could actually use from the Dodge to actually weld that into the MK3. We think this is possible, or we're gonna make it possible, right? But if you want to see what I cut out, be my guest. We're gonna talk a little bit, measure a little bit, and see what we're heading. Going full speed ahead. We're reinforcing the back before cutting more. So we're gonna have these crossbars, one there, one over there, and then across in between them two, just to reinforce everything. And then we're gonna cut up as much as possible to get the whole subframe up towards where the diff needs to be. Oh my lord, it's smoky in here. Damn. So what I've been doing for a couple or an hour, I guess, I used a little bit of material, as you can see. Oh Jesus. But I've been cutting away a bunch of metal and the old frame in the Golf 3. As you can see, we have thick ass steel that I cut out from the Golf 3, and the back is starting to look good, as you can see. Sorry, I'm gonna shed you some light, but as we can see here, we reinforced the whole section in the back, as I said, and now the back subframe is in the car, and it's looking good. It's looking much better than we thought from the beginning. So I'm gonna try to get you underneath here, see if you can see anything. But the subframe mount in the back is almost close to the old frame in the back, so that's perfect. We're gonna do really thick shims and weld them in to the frame in the back. And then in the front, it's a bit of a different story. But we are gonna have to make our own. So we're gonna have to make our own, I would say, chassis frame. So we're gonna extend from here, go up, so we can have good clearance for the tow bar and everything in the back, and then connect the left side with the right side and stiffen everything up. That's gonna be a work in progress. But then we also have the mount in the front. I'm gonna try to film for you. It's not the best, but as you can see, the subframe in the front, we were thinking about making tubular mounts and then weld them into the frame in the front. And the diff is in the perfect angle to be aligned with the gearbox. But me and Matthias were trying to figure out how to actually do this, and we have the old chassis or the frame from the Dodge for the back subframe, and we think we're going to use the mounts that we have on this one. So as you can see here, that's the front section of the old tub, and that's the back section. So what I think we're going to do, we're going to cut out a big chunk out of this and try to save the stiffness, the front section. That's really stiff, and that we could weld in and get that really stiff and sturdy and do something special in the front. I guess you and me, Matthias,
Yep.
are gonna have to cut a little bit of this flooring, and piece by piece, we don't want to cut too much, so I'm gonna use more. We're gonna cut even more, so when we think we're done, we can actually catch back with you. So yeah, the Magic YouTube 1, 2, 3. I guess the subframe is coming up to the right place in the back. I know it's really hard to see what we have done, but we have slotted the middle frame so we can weld it together really tight and snug. The clock is now 3 in the middle of the night, and I think me and Matthias, we need to go home because we have kids that wake us up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Or 4-ish, I don't know. But I wanted to show you, this is everything that we have cut out from the floor on the Golf. So I guess we're gonna clean up.
You can probably make a whole car out of this.
I guess so. We could make another Golf 3 out of this. Yeah, maybe this Rocco needs some. So I think we're gonna try to head up tomorrow and proceed. The goal is to this week weld it up and put it on the floor, and then see how it fits with the wheels. And we're gonna have a big surprise for you guys, because we're soon gonna reveal some nice cool wheels. And then next weekend, a good friend of mine comes over or comes down and is gonna help us. Mostly because it's really fun to have good friends building cars, but now we have to sleep. Okay, the video is getting quite long, so we're gonna end it here, and I hope you all enjoyed our talk and run through with the project. But if you're still in the video, thank you for watching, and I hope you're psyched for the next video. So as I always say, have a good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever you are. Bye bye. Hej då!